I love the sun, surf, and sand. I also love getting a nice little suntan in the summer. Who doesn't, right? But we need to use our head when it comes to sun exposure, because those same rays that are responsible for turning our skin from pasty and pale to a nice shade of mocha are also responsible for skin damage, premature aging, not to mention skin cancer. So today I'm gonna attempt to keep you safe in the sun by going over some suntan lotion do's and don'ts. But first, I'm gonna drop a little sunscreen knowledge on your ass. Check this out. Sunscreen was developed back in the 1930s to actually protect military personnel from being out in the blazing sun for hours on end. Fast forward to today, and sunscreen is an $800 million industry with over 1,800 different types, makes, models, brand. There are a ton of different options. With all this selection, the good news is that there's something for everybody. There is something, it doesn't matter your skin type, tone, whatever, there's something for you. But the downside with all these different choices, sometimes it's a little bit confusing picking the perfect option. Now for most of us, we just go to the store, find an SPF that we think is right, and we are off to go rocking and rolling in the surf, sun, beach, pool, whatever. Well guys, there's a lot more to consider, and so now I'd like to go over some sunscreen do's and don'ts. Alright, first let's kick it off with the do's. Make sure that you always look for a sunscreen that offers a broad spectrum protection. This means that you're going to be protected from both UVA and UVB rays. Always look for a sunscreen between 15 and 50. Alright, under 15, I know they sell them, but that's essentially the equivalent of rubbing butter on yourself and going outside. You are going to baste like a turkey. Not a good idea. Alright, now 50, there is sunscreen that comes above 50, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now here's the deal. The earlier in the season, the higher up in that SPF you should go. You can gradually work yourself down, but I would say an average would be SPF 30. That's going to offer you pretty decent protection regardless of your skin tone or pigment. A big trend in the sunscreen industry is the aerosol spray on cans, right? Well, here's the downside to those. They don't last long. You get a few uses out of them and they're done. They still cost the same as the lotion. They also don't necessarily cover as well and as thoroughly as a lotion. I would recommend using sun lotion as opposed to the aerosol sprays. Now here's another tip. I would recommend you apply that sunscreen 15 minutes to going outside. The reason, because that sunscreen needs about 15 minutes to actually work and to absorb and to be protecting your butt. But if you just go outside, put it on, you've got a 15-minute window where you're prone to burning. A lesson I learned the hard way: apply to every area of your body that is exposed. This includes the top of your feet, your hands, your ears, and if you're balding or thinning up top, you need to put some on your head. That pouty pucker of yours, yeah, it also needs protection. Use a chapstick that offers a 15 SPF or higher. They sell them, look for them. Make sure that your sunscreen is water resistant, and as always, use a daily facial moisturizer that has an SPF of 15 or higher. It doesn't matter the season, doesn't matter the time of year, you need to protect your face from the sun all the time. Now it's time for some sunscreen don'ts. Alright, now the first thing, don't be fooled. Just because you don't see the sun, it's not blazing down and it's all hot, it doesn't mean it's not there. You can still burn when it's cloudy or overcast, so you need to protect yourself if you're going to be outside at all. Avoid sunscreens that have oxybenzone as an ingredient, okay? Oxybenzone actually messes with your hormone levels, not to mention it is an incredible skin irritant. Don't use sunscreen that has an SPF higher than 50, because research shows there isn't anything really higher than 50, but some companies are saying it's 65, it's 100, and this actually fools you into thinking you can stay out longer. Guys, go with 50 for your max protection. Every 2 hours, you need to be reapplying your sunscreen, even if you haven't gotten in the water, okay? Even if you don't think you need it, you need to reapply it every 2 hours to make sure that you're protective. And when all else fails, wear a t-shirt. You wear a seatbelt when you get in the car. You wear a helmet when you ride a motorcycle. You use sunscreen when you're out in the sun. Gentlemen, the sun, it's great, it's glorious. It gives us great nutrients, right? But it also can wreak havoc on our skin. Cancer, skin damage, and premature aging. You need to protect yourself at all times. Sunscreen is a way to do it. Now get out there, have some fun, just don't get burnt.